Hello. I am sitting in my pajamas because it only feels right at 9 p.m. almost to be in your pajamas in front of my home gallery for the first session of Black and Bookish. So I'm really excited about it anyway because I hope that during the course of, not just today, but generally, I'm hoping that this will bring new opinions, new ideas, bring conversation. Because I think that's all it's about, really, sharing ideas about books. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you not? What's the coup? So I think first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the book up that I'm talking about today. Bernadine, Evaristo, Girl, Woman and Other. Now, as they say, I'm not in any which way backward about coming forwards. But it's really weird. With this book, for the longest time, it's been spoken about in loads of book clubs and even just a few of the comments underneath the post that I said about Black and Bookish. Loads of people really loved the book. I just wasn't one of them. And I kind of feel bad. And I felt bad for not liking the book. And the reason why I felt bad for not liking the book was because my husband's in the background looking at me, to be fair. Was because it was a present. He gifted it to me. So just to add a little bit of history to add a little bit of context to my history, which is I used to, back in the day, pre-kids, single and mingle time, I used to read all the books from the, as it was called then, the Man Booker Prize. But now it's just the Booker Prize long list. Just to see what was going on, what was meant to be cutting edge in literature and stuff. And I was gifted this by my husband because he knew that I like to read the books on the list. In fact, I was gifted this twice. The person who gifted it for the second time, you know who you are. And I was really, really excited about reading this, I have to say. It was being... At the time, there was kind of a lot of hype. It was telling, the Black story and all that kind of stuff, which I get for sure. And there is definitely something that is very, and I'm not taking away from the fact that there are very, very realistic scenarios in the book. And that the book has a certain level, my phone's going to fall, that the book has a certain level of nuance. My problem with it fundamentally was just the fact that it didn't have any sort of, there was no uplift. The characters had no, in my opinion, no saving graces. It felt as though, contrary to what people believed, I didn't feel like this book came out of a place of love. I felt that, there was, the characters didn't have enough redeeming qualities. I guess that was my problem. And it's not to say, and this is not that I believe that characters fundamentally should be perfect. I don't believe that they should be perfect, but I'm going to take her name because I couldn't remember her name. But it was Carol is rejecting her cultural background to blend in at her posh university. And it was just certain things that made me feel as though, she's posh, she's viewed as being snobby, she's rejecting her culture in order to fit in. Hold on. Do I need to say spoiler alerts? Do I need to... Hello. Do I need to say spoiler alerts, by the way? Because I'm not sure. If you haven't read the book, I don't really... Anyway, I'm still going to say this. Hey girl, is this like LinkedIn Live where I can actually put you on the screen? And do I have to do spoilers, babe? This is my question. Do I have to do spoilers? Spoilers? Do I have to say I'm going to say spoiler things? Well, it doesn't matter because I've still got to say what I've got to say. So Carol, she's rejecting her Nigerian background. But for me, the concept, okay, don't do spoilers. Okay, well, this is kind of hard for me to review the book now to not do spoil. Oh, okay, so How do I work my way around that? No, I can't spoil. Shireen said I can't do any spoilers because you haven't read the book. Okay, I won't do spoilers. But basically, the point about it is this: there is what I feel like is to be. There's like the normalizing of sexual violence within the black community. I don't believe it's normalized, and I think the book gives the wrong impression. Yeah, it's really hard because like to get to drill into it, but I'm gonna try. But then there's also the fact that, you know, it's really hard because it makes all my points moot if I don't spoil it a little bit. But anyway, the point is that I don't feel she gives the characters a fair, rounded view. I think she still subscribes to tropes, and I still feel that the book, I'm not surprised that the book won the Booker Prize, because I think it is very much focused around, in that sense, the white gaze. The, you know, whether it's coming from a background of violence, whether it's, you know, trying, like, and I'm not saying trying to fit in is not I'm not saying that trying to fit in isn't, you know, a part of black life, especially when you're within corporate culture. But I don't necessarily think that every person had to have a really deep embedded level of tragedy, because I feel as though that's so much what's expected of black people, that we come out of tragedy. She's a success in the world, in the workplace. She is married to a white guy. She's rejected her culture, but really and truly, sorry for this spoiler, Shireen, you know, all of this has come as a defense mechanism because she was raped by boys on the estate when she was young. It's like, I get the point, but at the same time, why does it always have to be trauma-based? Why do we... Hi, Kate. Why do we have to always have the churchgoer who is a hypocrite, who is secretly in a lesbian relationship? Like, why can't she just be a churchgoer but has issues with her daughter moving into a different world? I just think she didn't give the characters depth where I felt at the end I would like to be, I know this might not be the case, but I didn't feel like I wanted to be friends with any of them. Like, we're all flawed human beings. I get that. But she just didn't, in my opinion, give them enough depth that felt like it was outside of what anybody could have wrote. Like, I give her credit. She has looked at the black experience, but once again, and I'm not saying you can't write fictional books about things you don't know about, but when you read her story herself, when you listen to how she grew up, she didn't necessarily identify with her black side either. So I don't know, like, I just feel as though this book has got far too much praise. And then there's like the other woman who is married to a guy, and then, sorry, these are all the spoilers, but then she finds out that, well, she doesn't find out, but it's revealed that her mum was secretly sleeping with the guy for all those years. And to use our word, Shireen, like, the salaciousness is great, but and I read it and I thought, ooh, but then afterwards I read it, I was like, but really, is that still what we're going to do? Are we still falling back into this whole black people are hypersexual and that's what we do? And even if we're in committed relationships, the man always cheats on the woman, but he happens in this case to cheat with his mother-in-law. It was just a little bit, I don't know, everything felt a little bit icky for my taste and felt a little bit basic, if I'm honest. And I know loads of people love this book, and I know loads of people love her, and maybe I'll read it again, but I just don't feel as though she wrote this out of a place of love. Like, I just don't. I don't see how this book celebrates black women. I don't see how it in any way celebrates black joy. It really kind of, I don't know, maybe there's triumph in it on one level, but I don't feel like it triumphs over everything. And I think she had a moment. I think she had a possibility to change the narrative. I think she could have made it a triumphant book. But at the end of each story, I just felt like, blah, blah. That was it. I didn't feel rejoiceful. I didn't feel happy. And when I closed the book finally, I actually said, to my husband, I hate the book. And then at the time, it just made it to the shortlist. And when it won, it didn't surprise me because it perfectly fits, in my opinion, the stereotypes and the tropes. I felt like she Tyler Perry'd black culture. I felt like we had been exploited, and now we were, everywhere. And this was going to be a book that was now held as a reflection of black culture. So whilst you may not come from you might be successful, but really you come like your mum's in the closet. I don't know. It just didn't feel like that. It didn't feel what I expected. And when I think about her in comparison to somebody like Michaela Cole, who deals with really, really harsh, difficult issues, the way she presents them still gives you a sense of hope, a sense of light, even though it's sad. Even with Bubblegum, you still had that feeling of certain parts you didn't want to watch. You closed your eyes, certain parts were unpleasant, but she still managed to present it in a way that you still like. I've forgotten the name of the main character. What was the name of the main character? Huh? But you still felt like, hey, there's something there. There's something in it. I don't know, but like, I'm not going to bore you to death, but I might just find a little excerpt if I can. I should have marked the book, really. I should have marked the book, but I didn't. Maybe that's my tip for next time. I'll mark some excerpts in my book so I can kind of say, this is what I loved, this is what I hate, because you guys know this is all trial and error. But I mean, please, can somebody tell me that they were a little bit disappointed with this book as well, please? But like, I've had one conversation where someone said to me they were disappointed, but everyone's just loved it. And I'm kind of disappointed at the love, I'm not going to lie. Like, I really wish someone else said the same as me. Like, no, it wasn't for me. Please tell me that I'm not wrong. But yeah, so that's like my little brief Black and Bookish #1. So if this is like a thumbs up, thumbs down situation, it's a thumbs down situation. I think there's this thing called Momox over here. Can I sell it? Oh, okay, I can't sell it. It's a gift. I can't sell it. Can I re-gift it? Oh, okay. So I can't even re-gift it. Well, that's a shame. Well, never mind. But don't buy it. No, I'm like, don't. Or if you want to borrow it, feel free. I'm happy to post it. Please, like, for the first person who says, yay, I want to read it. But as I said, like, I might read it once again just to get more clarity. But no, this is a thumbs down for me. But I'm really, really excited. It's like, now I'm getting into my groove. I'm not going to whiz through 2 books, but the next book on my list is, because I feel like Girl, Woman and Other, like, I should have prepared more, and I should have definitely had some more highlighted, I don't highlight books, but like little tabbed bits. But the book that I want to talk about next week for my next episode of Black and Bookish is this. What's Love Got to Do with It? Understanding and Healing the Rift Between Black Men and Black Women. And the reason why I want to talk about this book, because it's not just about this book is deep, and it's not just about like the relationships between Black women and Black men per se, but this book goes into so much more. So like, if anyone has time, this is definitely a deep one, because I've been thinking about my Black and Bookish. How am I going to mix it up? So I'm going to mix it up with authors. So this month is going to be a little bit love, a little bit, let's say, love and women. And then October, I haven't figured out a theme yet. So this is what's coming next. And then there's another book as well, which is also about love. But I'll talk about that one next week. So that's me. The first episode of Black and Bookish. It's rather short, but you know what? You learn on the go. Like, you do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then you kind of figure it out as you go. So, excerpts, Shireen, you can give me feedback. Excerpts, a little bit, what I didn't like, what I did like, what's powerful. And I kind of feel like that's like more, it will be a lot easier to do that with What's Love Got to Do with It, because it's a shorter book. I just remember this one just leaving such a bad and sour taste in my mouth that I kind of didn't even want to really read it again. but I still felt like I had to get this off my chest. It was almost like a cleanse of my thoughts to say, I didn't like this book. I didn't love this book. And whilst there was something, and when I say familiar, not because its personal story is familiar, while there's something familiar about it, and that was what was cool on the one hand, the realistic part that you could believe it. I just think sometimes the whole point in having a fiction book is to help correct the wrongs that might exist in real life. And I don't know, a book's meant to be escapist. It's meant to have a redeeming element. It's not meant to paint black women in what I feel to be a stereotyped light. And if that's, and that for me, the personal danger is that this book has won prizes. Bernadine Evaristo is becoming like a spokesperson. I don't know what she said on the regular, but I do also know that she said some dubious things on Twitter of late. I just worry that this is going to be getting into hands where they think that this is the norm, you know, and that for me is always the concern. But yes, that's it. Girl, Woman, Another, thumbs down. We've done Black and Bookish. Take 1. So, see you all soon. Toodles! I actually don't know how to switch this thing off, by the way. Oh yeah, no, I know. Okay, I think I've got it.